Our next topic, something very big happened in February, and that is the annual Dice Awards, right? And so the Dice Awards are one of those sort of like big deals that I don't think sort of comes across to the average gamer as much. Because like the closest comparison you can make is like the Oscars, right? The Dice Awards are the Oscars of the video game industry. They're, it's developers voting for, well, that's also GDC, I guess. But what would you say is the biggest distinction in your mind, Chris, between a Dice Award and a GDC award?
The Dice Award. So I don't know if this is what you guys feel about it, but it kind of makes me feel a little bit warmer on the inside. It's like less corporate, I guess.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like they also take a little bit more time to decide what those awards are going to. But these are all just like observations I've made in my own head, so I don't really know.
That's fair. Both are very important industry awards. The way that the Dice Awards work is I think there's a small committee that nominates games in each category, but then everyone that's part of the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences gets to vote then on the games. So this year's awards, I mean, Nintendo swept them. There's really no other way of stating it. I mean, like, they crushed it.
Well, when you drop a new Zelda game and a new Mario game in 1 year, you're probably going to do pretty well.
Fire Emblem Heroes won for
best
mobile game. I think Snipperclips won an award, I believe.
Yes, they did.
Switch. Fun game if anyone's done it. I believe Mario vs. Rabbids also won an award.
Yeah, so like the Snipperclips won Family Game of the Year, and then the Mario vs. Rabbids, I think, won the best turn-based or something like that. Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
Divinity get shafted for role-playing game of the year. Nier Automata won, but I don't know.
Strategy simulation game of the year is the one that Mario plus Rabbids won, which I was very surprised that one. Like, out of all the games that they picked, that was really odd.
Yeah. It's a good game though.
It's a great game, but yeah. And then some of them are like no brainers. Like Cuphead won outstanding achievement in art direction, and I think Horizon Zero Dawn also won, but only in story. Story and technical achievement.
Good.
Action game of the year went to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Ugh.
And role-playing went to Nier Automata. Mario Kart 8 even won the racing game of the year, which I think was a huge sort of...
That's kind of an upset, thinking of like, Forza. Didn't Forza?
Yeah, that's exactly like Forza, you would think.
Do you think that the guys were like, I know Mario?
that honestly is probably part of it. Just... I mean, how much do you guys think this is a popularity contest? Like, I know I've made that point before about these kinds of awards, but like, do you think these decisions are made just based on popularity, or like, is it just that name recognition of Mario? Do you think that's it, or?
I think Breath of the Wild deserved Game of the Year.
Probably.
Based on everything that all the hype and people calling it. If it wasn't like Super Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild, I think that would have been interesting. Based on all the hype that you hear online about it. It's just like more people play those games, I think, because they're Nintendo games. They're more approachable. But like Mario Kart winning best racing game, I think is like the biggest kind of like blinking thing. There is definitely an argument for Mario vs. Rabbids as best strategy game, I think, based on how I've seen other people play it and how impressed people are. And I think that game really benefits from like the expectations you go in are pretty low, and then when you play it, they just completely exceed it. But things like Mario Kart, that really does just show that it could be a popularity contest. But
yeah, that is a little bit of a weird decision.
Yeah, that one doesn't make sense at all. Especially because I almost feel like, it's weird, but I don't think of Mario Kart as a racing game. I understand it is, but it's like a really super casual racing games.
Yeah, the
as far as racing
spirit
games
the
go.
spirit of it isn't the same spirit that most serious racing games have. You know, it's
Right.
like it
Well, I mean, I don't
technically.
think that makes it less of a game, though, right? Just because
Well,
you like
no.
play it at a birthday party doesn't make it less of a, award winner, right?
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, like, I don't know. It's just like a racing game is kind of hard, if that makes sense. Like, there's a lot of factors that go into like you got to pick the car and the engine, and you tune it, and you like it's really precise. And Mario Kart is not about any of that. It's more about like coming from behind like an asshole with the
So
The
my
blue shell.
my counter argument to that is that's what Dota players say about Heroes of the Storm.
That's a very good point.
So
I gotta say that's a great point, Mike. Mike, that's pretty incredible.
So I mean, and I think Heroes of the Storm is just as competitive as those other ones. It's just competitive in a different way.
It's just
Right.
fewer nuts and bolts to tighten. Like that's the kind of the only difference.
and then you go into this black hole of because I think games. I saw this article. I don't remember when it was, but it was really interesting. Was whatever happened to linear games, right? Because I liked linear games back in the day, right?
Yeah,
and
same
you know
here.
they're
I still like linear games.
yeah, and I think people have added. I think it's the Dark Souls effect, right? They like add an insane amount of difficulty to one, extend playtime, and two, make it more competitive or make it more serious or something like that. And I don't think a game necessarily needs that complication. And honestly, might actually get because I think Dota suffers from that. Like, why do I have to hit my own creep? Right? I think that's dumb. And so, like, I think the best part about Heroes is they've eliminated all of the unnecessary parts of a competitive MOBA, like items and runes and skills and stuff like that. I don't know if you can actually, make that same argument for Mario Kart, but I don't think because the game is is not as hard as another one makes it less of a game or less deserving of an award. Because maybe that simplicity is why it won, right?
That's fair. That's fair. By the way, because I know that someone will ask, the sports game of the year went to FIFA 18.
Deserved.
I can't believe there's like 18 of these things.
The FIFA like crowd is intense, man. There are a lot of people who play that game.
I'm sure. I don't doubt it for a second. It's still kind of mind boggling because like it can't change that much from year to year, so it's weird to me.
Yeah, I don't get it at all either.
I guess that someone could make that same argument about Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed, but I would counter that I don't play Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed every year. I'll play it every 3 or 4 years because that's when something changes.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's not the case with the sports game crowd. I feel like they must buy it every year. I think
sports game people are the same people who buy Call of Duty every year too. I think that's the same person because when I was super into sports games, I bought NCAA football 2008 to 2013. Like every single year, just because it was the newest version,
right?
And so it's just a different kind of player in person.
Yeah. By the way, the last category, which we haven't mentioned, is the fighting game of the year, and that went to Injustice 2, which I've heard good things about. I haven't.
It's better than Street Fighter.
That one, by the way, had some minor controversy recently because they had $100 special edition that came out with special skins involved and stuff, and now they're coming out with a game of the year that has those skins included for $60. So that's causing a little bit of a.
I didn't know that, but I bought the $100 version, and now I'm a little upset. So,
yeah, I would be too.
Man, but no one knew Injustice was gonna be that good. It's fun to watch. I really like it.
I rented Injustice 2 and I really enjoyed it. I think that it introduced a lot of systems that were really cool. Big improvement over the
Mortal
first
Kombat
one.
10 was a good game, and it's on the same engine.
So. Oh yeah, I still have Mortal Kombat 10. It's a great time.
I haven't touched it. In fact, I haven't played too many fighting games, but the new Soul Calibur, whenever it comes out, that's a day one purchase for me because I'm a huge Soul Calibur guy. So I'll once that happens, I'll let you guys know.
But you can't jump.
You sort of can, but not really.
You can hop, right?
Every fighting
you can
game,
hop.
needs to open their match by jumping and then kicking. That's
That's how the pros do it.
That's how every Street Fighter game starts, right? You jump in the air and then you do a kick. That's
exactly
every single time.
That's how most Mortal Kombat matches start too, just a flying kick like both.
I have a great game for you, Chris. It's called Dive Kick. You would love it.
Okay, awesome. Let's do it.
Wait, you really don't know Dive Kick?
No, I don't actually.
What?
I've actually never heard of that either.
Oh my god! Both of you need to go check it out. It's a game with only 2 buttons: jump and kick, dive and kick. That's it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's a fighting game.
That's great. Even I could probably figure it out then. That sounds awesome.
It is the most basic distillation of a fighting game ever, and it's most of it is like one hit KO. As long as you land one hit, I think you win. Go check it out. You'll love it.
This has been a production of the GWW Radio Network. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Also, check out Geeks Worldwide at thegww.com for all the latest news, reviews, and opinions on video games, comics, movies, TV, cosplay, and more. Geeks Assemble!